I call upon Shri Rahul Gandhi sir to take over the stage.
Over to you, sir.
Sir, the students of our college are eagerly waiting to interact with you. Here are a few set of questions to you, sir.
You want to ask questions?
Yeah, yes, sir. So please, yes, sir.
Siddaramaiah ji, principal, teachers, students, thank you for inviting me here to have a conversation with you. I'm really looking forward to our chat. I believe you want to ask me questions. So what I'll do is, I'll start immediately with the questions, and then once we're done with the questions, I can give you a little bit on my thoughts.
So the first question...
So do you want me to stand here, or do you want me and the CM to sit on a chair there? What would you prefer? What would you prefer? Stand here?
First question is by Bhavya R. Anchalkar, 3rd BSc.
Then give me, I'll just take that mic.
India is facing a crisis in the area of job creation. BJP government promised to create 2 crore jobs annually, but failed miserably and has now fallen silent. Examinations are being sabotaged as well. The SSC failure is an example of students protesting and demanding a CBI probe, but there's no word from the government. In such a scenario, how would you aim to resolve job crisis?
So, does anyone here know how many jobs China creates in 24 hours? Can someone guess? Take a guess, quick. Anybody? Wild guess. Huh? 50,000. So every 24 hours, our main competitor creates 50,000 jobs. Okay? Formal jobs. How many formal jobs do you think India creates in the same 24 hours? 450. That should give you an idea of the difference between job creation between our main competitor and ourselves. So the point you've made is absolutely correct. We are growing pretty decently as an economy, but we are not creating jobs. And the single biggest reason why we are not creating jobs is because the people who have the skills do not have access to bank finance and support. So huge amount of money goes to the top 10, 15 big business people in India. And thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs, smaller businesses, small and medium-sized businesses, they don't get the type of finance required to build businesses. So that's one thing that we would like to change. You might have noticed in the newspaper that Mr. Nirav Modi took 22,000 crores of bank money, right? So you can imagine how many businesses could have been built, young women like you, if we had you can imagine how many businesses could have been built by young women like you if we had given 22,000 crores to you. So that's one big problem. That huge amount of money just goes to the biggest 10, 15 business people. You read their names in the newspapers. They're the same 15, 20 guys. The second thing is that our education system doesn't very effectively address skills. So we teach you many, many interesting things. But when you are hired by companies, what they need you to know, our higher education system is struggling to teach you. So those would be the two things that we would try and change. We would make sure that small and medium businesses are supported and get a lot more money. We would tighten the banking system. Today you have a Vijay Mallya, 10,000 crores. You have a Lalit Modi. You have a Nirav Modi. And just keep watching, because in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a number of other Nirav Modis coming. So those are the type of things that we'd address. Our competition is with the Chinese. That's very clear. Everybody in the world knows that the two big countries that are going to define the next century are going to be either India or China. The Chinese have a completely different way of doing things. We have a completely different way of doing things. We think our way is better, they think their way is better, but the competition is between the two of us. And I think the focus should move from the growth idea alone to growth plus jobs. How many jobs is the Indian government creating in 24 hours? And the whole country should focus on that and say, listen, this is what we want to do in the next 10 years. Then ladies like you will have opportunity.
Thank you, sir. The second question is asked from Aisha Mariam, first BA.
So,
Hello Aisha, how are you? What are you studying? How's it going?
Check, check.
sir, I'm a first year BA student from Maharani's Arts College for Women.
And is it going well? You're
Yes.
doing well?
Yes.
What do you want to do after college?
After college, okay, I want to do civil service. I want to get into some competitive exams. I either want to pass IAS or IFS.
Okay. Good. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. And today my question
Call me
is...
Rahul, don't call me sir. If you don't mind.
Okay. Okay. Today my question is, fake notes are still in circulation even after demonetization. Demonetization did little else than harm the common people. So what are your views about it?
About demonetization.
Yes, because...
I think demonetization was a mistake. And I think demonetization should, I think it should never have been done. It was, you know, we're talking about job creation. Between demonetization and GST,
yes.
massive damage
Okay.
to the Indian economy and massive damage to job creation. The backbone of Indian job creation is the informal sector. Small businesses, those businesses were basically wiped out by demonetization and GST. So I completely disagree with the idea of demonetization. Also, I have a real problem with the way demonetization was carried out. Do you know that the chief of the RBI, the chief economic advisor to the Prime Minister, the finance minister, none of these people were told about demonetization. This was a decision that somebody, a gentleman called Mr. Bukkal, basically convinced the Prime Minister of. And then they carried out demonetization. When demonetization happened, I picked up the phone and I called Mr. Chidambaram, who was our finance minister, and then I called Mr. Manmohan Singh. When I called Mr. Chidambaram and I asked him, what do you think about demonetization? He was laughing. And he was saying that I cannot imagine how the BJP has carried out such an exercise. This is, his words, this is insane. right? And when I called Manmohan Singh ji, I called him and I said, Manmohan Singh ji, have you heard about demonetization? And the phone went silent. He didn't, for 20 seconds, the phone went silent. I was like, Manmohan Singh ji, what happened? He said, I'm trying to recover from the shock of what you've just told me. So this was a very badly conceived step, and it was extremely damaging step. And the government realizes that. I mean, even the finance minister today realizes that demonetization was actually a disaster. This is not the type of, this is not sound economic policy. There's not a single economic expert in the world who will tell you that demonetization of the Indian economy made any economic sense whatsoever. So I would avoid those type of steps. See, my philosophy, and in fact our philosophy in the Congress party, is that on a country the size of India, don't do experiments, right? Use ideas that are tested, test the ideas, test them in a small scale, and then roll them out at a large scale. It's extremely dangerous for one person to try and do experimentation with the Indian economy. This is not the way a modern economy should be run. What do you think of demonetization? Do you disagree or agree with me?
I can't be so sure because this initiative was taken to bring out the black money. And even they have proven that some of the black money has come out. So we cannot totally disagree that it has been a total this thing. So maybe before taking such a big decision, they could have thought twice about it. Because as India is a poverty-stricken country and it's still it's called a developing nation, so maybe they could have thought twice about what they were going to do.
Actually, as far as demonetization is concerned, it hasn't had an impact on black money. The internal calculation of the government was that approximately 2.5 lakh crores of black money would not come back, right? Yeah. And actually what they found was that all the black money in the system came back. So actually what demonetization did was it allowed every single person who had black money to convert his black money into white money. So it was actually counterproductive. It was damaging to the fight against black money. It wasn't helpful in the least. That's the economic fact.
Thank you so much, sir.
Also, 90% of black money, as you would be aware, is in real estate, in gold, and in Swiss bank accounts. Yes. Small portion of that money is in cash, right? Yes. Mr. Modi, when he came to power, he said that he's going to get money back from the Swiss banks, right? How much money has come back from the Swiss banks? There's a list right now with the government of India, with all the people, Indian people, who have Swiss bank accounts. It's with the government of India. We've asked them to table that bill to table those names in Parliament and start taking action against those names. No action is being taken. So, the focus, if you want to fight black money, the focus is not the 5% black money in cash. The focus is Swiss bank accounts, the focus is gold, the focus is real estate. So there's limited activity taking place.
So then how do you think it can be retrieved from them, from real estate and Swiss banks and
transparency,
gold?
Increasing the amount of transparency. So a huge step for fighting black money is actually the right to information, right?
Yes.
That's a massive step because it allows you to reach inside your ministry and ask questions. And the moment you ask questions, you can sort of figure out what is going on. So giving power to people like you, giving power to the civilians, giving power to average person in India to go and ask questions to the government and say, listen, please explain why this is like this and not like that. a lot of this activity that you're seeing, Nirav Modi, all these scams, they're coming out because of transparency and because of work done by people like you. So to empower younger kids, to empower people, and to give them the tools to see what their government is doing. That's the way you will affect black money and corruption. Not the centralization of power, but the decentralization of power, right? And then things like Panchayati Raj, things like RTI, things like Lokpal, which by the way we don't have, the government hasn't even appointed it. So if you're serious about doing that type of stuff, you have to start involving citizens in becoming the people who check.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Anusha, second year MBA.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Fine, sir. And you?
I'm well.
My question
But
is,
call me Rahul.
okay, sir. Rahul, my question is, in the name of value-based education, schools and colleges are focusing heavily on preserving Indian culture. Don't you think it is more important to discuss the
So I think there has to be a space for culture, but there also has to be society looks like, right? So building an equal society, building a society where women have the same place as men do. I'm quite happy to see here that there are many, many ladies, but normally you'll find if you look at political meetings or even if you look at government meetings, you'll find many more men than women. So equalization of society, taking care of some of the issues from our past, like the caste system, discrimination, particular attitudes towards women, violence towards women. So I think you have to focus on all these things. I don't think you can say, let's not focus at all on our culture and let's focus only on these things, or vice versa. I think you got to do a balance.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Next, I call upon Netravati P.
One
from
second. See, whenever you look at our culture, any country, in a culture there will be positive things and there will be negative things. So for example, if you look at our culture, there are positive things like respect to your elders. There are negative things like tradition of sati, where they actually used to burn women. So culture also, you have to be careful that you're not brushing culture and saying it's all good or it's all bad. You take what is good and you leave what is bad. So that is also an important point in culture. There is a tendency to say that, oh, everything in the past was good, or everything in the past was bad. I think you have to be selective and you have to be able to say, okay, you have to have the courage to say, in our past, this was bad. And in our past, this was good. And we're going to use what's good and we're going to leave what's bad.
Thank you, sir. Next question is asked by Netravati P. of First MA.
Good morning, sir. My question will be, academics, liberal arts and research in particular seem to be under attack in the present government. Research seats have been cut and grants for research reduced in schools of social science. How under the current conditions can one accept to achieve higher standards of learning or promote students to pursue the liberal arts? Or IITs all the matter in India?
I think there are two different visions of India today. There is a sort of one idea being imposed on India. There's the vision that there should only be one idea on top of India. And that is the BJP RSS view, that we are one nation and there should be one idea and nobody should challenge that idea. And then there is the Congress view, which says, no, we are one nation, but we have millions of ideas and we have to respect all of them. And this is a fight going on right now. A lot of the pressure that you feel is because education is the best way to impose an idea. So if you can capture the education system and you can teach people one idea, that's the easiest way to convince people of one idea. So a real big battle that is taking place right now is the fight for the university system. And the RSS people are trying to place their people inside the university system, and we are trying to fight that. I personally believe that I don't want to see an India where everybody is told that you have to follow only one idea. I want to go to you, what's your name? I want to go to Shweta, I want to ask you, and I want to say to her, listen, what type of India do you want to see? And if she says, this is the India I want to see, I want to tell her, okay, work for it. And I want to be able to do the same. What's your name? Meghna. I want to be able to do the same for Meghna. I don't want to tell Shweta and Meghna that, listen, all of you are going to do the same thing. So, because I believe fundamentally in all of you. I believe that if we were to leave India to all of you, to let all of you run it, you do quite a good job of running it. And I believe that you understand what needs to be done. You can sit. You can sit. You understand what needs to be done. You're smart enough to know what ideas you want to follow and what you don't like, and we should leave you alone to do it. So that is that's the fight that is taking place right now. There are two different visions of India.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I'm also confident that India will actually never have one idea imposed on it. You take the state of Karnataka. The state of Karnataka is completely different than the state of Uttar Pradesh. They speak Hindi, they speak Bhojpuri, you speak Kannada. Now, it wouldn't be fair if we told the people of Karnataka, sorry, we don't like Kannada, we want you to speak Hindi. Right? That wouldn't be fair. So a lot of people are feeling that. A lot of people are feeling, especially for example in the Northeast where I've been going recently, they're feeling that an idea is being imposed on them. And we don't want an India where an idea is being imposed on our people. We want an India where the idea is being generated from our people. We want you to tell us what to do. And then we want to work on that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. The next question is my Mahadevamma, first year economics, MA.
So most of you from Karnataka? And most of you from this area or from different parts? This area.
Good morning, sir.
It's very beautiful city you have.
ಸರ್ ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿಎಂ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
You can speak in Kannada. I'll get someone to translate it.
You can ask questions only in English, please.
No, ask in Kannada and Parmeshwarji, you can translate it.
Translate.
Okay. ಹೇಳಮ್ಮ.
ಸರ್ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯನ ನೀವು ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ತಾರತಮ್ಯ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ.
When you are providing funds and other benefits, why are you differentiating the students?
Who is differentiating?
Government.
Well,
Government
is it a Karnataka question or a national question?
Is it a national question? ಇದು ಇಡೀ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಬರೀ ನಮ್ಮ
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ.
ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ?
Well, if it's a Karnataka question, you have the Karnataka Chief Minister here.
Come.
ಏನಮ್ಮ ನಿಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ? What is your question that I have asked?
ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಸೌಲಭ್ಯನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ತಾರತಮ್ಯ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು.
ನೋಡಮ್ಮ
ಸರ್, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಸರ್?
ಕೇಳಮ್ಮ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು, BSc ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, MBA ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಓದ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು. ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಸಮಾನತೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಬಡತನ, ಶ್ರೀಮಂತಿಕೆ ಇದೆ, ಲಿಂಗ ತಾರತಮ್ಯ ಇದೆ, ಪುರುಷರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ತಾರತಮ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ಈ ತಾರತಮ್ಯ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ಐತಿಹಾಸಿಕವಾಗಿ ಆದಂಥ ಘಟನೆಗಳಿಂದ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಈ ತಾರತಮ್ಯ. ಈ ತಾರತಮ್ಯ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡನ್? ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಗು ವೀಕ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬ ಸದೃಢವಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಆ ವೀಕ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಮಗುಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂಥ ಆರೈಕೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ದುರ್ಬಲರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಅವಕಾಶಗಳಿಂದ ವಂಚಿತರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರಿಗೆ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಹಿನಿಗೆ ತರಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಆಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾವು ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ದಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ.
ಸರ್, ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. ಸರ್ ಸರ್, ಬರೀ
ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್. Listen. We are distributing laptops to all students, irrespective of their caste, irrespective of their religion, those who have passed PUC and getting into degrees, whether it is BA, BCom, BSc and MBBS engineering. But this program has not been, and up to not post-graduation, only degree students. Listen. These laptops have not been distributed to all the students who have passed PUC. It is yet to be completed and it is under progress. This will be, all laptops will be distributed within 1 or 2 months to all students.
Thank you, sir. The next question is asked.
So you're all going to get laptops now? That's not bad. We never got laptops when we were in college. Sorry? Only postgraduate students get it. I can't hear you.
Sir, only undergraduate students are getting laptops, sir. But we need laptops, sir. We are post-graduation students that we have to make PPT and other things, sir. Sir!
Well, I'm sure the Chief Minister will consider your request.
Sir, my request is I want to take a selfie with you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. The next question is asked by Afreen, 3rd BA.
Afreen, 3rd BA.
Check.
नमस्ते राहुल जी।
नमस्कार।
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि सिंगापुर में 7% GST मिलकर भी वहाँ फ्री हेल्थ सर्विस होता है, इंडिया में 28% मिलकर भी हमने क्यों नहीं मिल रहा?
ये आप गलत आदमी से पूछ रहे हैं। ये आपको मोदी जी से जाके पूछना है।
सर, आप नेक्स्ट प्रधानमंत्री हुए तो मिलता है
हमारी पोजीशन GST पे काफी क्लियर है और रही है हिंदी में जवाब दूं या अंग्रेजी में? हिंदी
में।
हमारी पोजीशन जीएसटी पे काफी क्लियर रही है। जीएसटी एक्चुअली कांग्रेस पार्टी का आइडिया है, मगर हमारा कहना था जैसे सिंगापुर में एक जीएसटी है, 7% एक जीएसटी है, वैसे ही हिंदुस्तान में एक टैक्स होना चाहिए था। मगर बीजेपी की सरकार ने 5 अलग अलग टैक्स लगाए हैं और उन्होंने 28% का भी टैक्स लगाया है। हम 28% टैक्स के बिल्कुल खिलाफ है। हमारा सिस्टम था कि जो गरीब लोग इस्तेमाल करते हैं उसे आप जीएसटी से निकालिए और फिर एक टैक्स बनाइए और उस टैक्स को चलाइए। तो कंसेप्चुअलाइजेशन में उनकी जीएसटी में हमारी जीएसटी में फर्क है। अगर हमारी सरकार आएगी तो हम 28% जीएसटी को हटा देंगे और एक जीएसटी पूरे देश में लागू कर देंगे। दैट इज आवर पोजीशन। जीएसटी जब आप 5 अलग अलग जीएसटी से आपको नुकसान मालूम है? जैसे एक जीएसटी में और 5 जीएसटी में फर्क क्या होता है, उसका इफेक्ट क्या होता है, कोई बता सकता है? एक जीएसटी जरूरी क्यों है? यूनिफॉर्मिटी, वेरी गुड। व्हाट एल्स?
A very good morning, sir.
Good morning. Very good morning, Rahul.
A very good morning, Rahul. Okay. Sir, as you asked, what would be the effect if the implementation of overall one GST, and what is the difference or effects if we have different, in particular 5 GSTs?
5 or 7 or,
whatever. If we increase the number of GSTs, what is the agenda of implementing GST? Like the uniformity will be lost. If we implement one GST throughout the country, the price rate, the taxes will be same. So that, for example, few things in a state, A state, consider Karnataka only, if they have implemented around 5% GST, the price tag of that product will be something, but the same thing will be spent for other rate in other state.
Okay.
So again a discrimination came. So our agenda, as you say, I totally agree, we should implement, or the government in power should try to implement one GST so that the uniformity will be maintained.
But there's another very big reason. This is an absolutely correct reason, and that's a very good answer. But there's one other reason why having 5 GSTs is actually a bad idea and having one GST is a good idea. Can anyone guess? Confusion? But there's another very big reason. Exactly. Corruption. The reason you want one GST, a huge reason, is actually corruption. And that's why we wanted to ensure that you would have a GST that would not allow corruption. Now let me explain to you why and how a 5-layered GST allows corruption. Who decides into which bracket particular products go? Government. So now you have arbitrary decisions. The government says, okay, we want to favor this businessman. So now what we'll do is we'll put him in the 5% bracket. And we want to hurt this businessman. So we'll put him in the 28% bracket. And so a lot of space is created for corruption when you have 5-layered 5-layered GST. And we told this to the BJP government. We said that, listen, if you do a 5-layered GST, you will not have a GST, you will have a Gabbar Singh tax. What it will mean is that there will be extortion and there will be a lot of mischief going on to decide which bracket what product goes to. So it's very important to have one GST, and the Congress party is committed when we come to power in 2019 that we will give you one GST, one bracket, and no 28% tax.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next question is from Lakshmi H, second MBA.
Good morning, Rahulji.
Good morning.
My question is, a major problem that our graduate facing is employability. Learning methodology is not sync with the industrial needs, so they fail to get the job they need. So according to you, what should be a political course of action to deal with such a situation, sir?
If you look at a modern educational institution, a modern education institution is connected to large parts of the economy. So, for example, if you look at a Stanford University, involved in teaching the students, training the students about their particular field of expertise. So, increasing connectivity between our universities and the rest of the economy. University where businesses are involved in teaching the students, training the students about their particular field of expertise. So, increasing connectivity between our universities and the rest of the economy. How many, for example, you're taught here by your professors who have vast amount of knowledge. You have access to the internet. What is your interaction with industry in this college?